Hey, it's Sherry,
And Bria.
and welcome back to Alleged Actually podcast. Well, guys, it is Wednesday, so that means tonight we're going to recap 90 Day Single Life and the last part of the reunion of Housewives of Salt Lake City. So, Bria's going to help me out with 90 Day Single Life, and then I'm going to bring Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to you guys, just me, okay? So, Bria, let's get into 90 Day. And we're going to kick it off with Miss Veronica.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So, in this episode, Jamal is visiting North Carolina. Well, she's hoping that he stays, that he loves it enough that he moves down here. She's introducing her to Chloe, or him to Chloe, and they somewhat hit it off a little bit. I mean, they're closer in age, so
Yeah, they really are.
yeah.
There's a 10 years difference between them and a 13 between her and, or no, six, was it 13 or 16?
I don't know. How old is Chloe?
16.
She's 16, and Jamal is what? 20? Jamal.
I remembered her saying that I would have thought he was like 28, but it seemed like she said there was a 10-year difference between her and her daughter, him and her daughter.
Yeah. So he's 28. She's 16. That's
okay. 12 years.
But I mean, so on same distance pretty much. But I don't know. It just seems I already said that this is like, it seems producer orchestrated, like everything that they film. I think that he wants to, let's just, because I'm not sure how you
let's just say, for the sake of the show and what they're giving us to work with, let's say Veronica and Jamal are actually trying to have, really start to try to get something here. I mean, we have plenty of stuff to talk about where it just seems like it's not going to work.
No.
Age, and to me, age difference is not necessarily the key. It's not, because there are some, I mean, that works all the time. Depends on the two people. I'm always a proponent. Age ain't nothing but a number. But
legal age, yes.
Legal age. Amen. But let's be clear. There's so many things stacked up against them. Jamal lives on the West Coast in California. Veronica's in Charlotte. Veronica has a teenage daughter that she has to care for. So she's pretty much planted. It's not like she's free to go run on off to the West Coast behind Jamal. Even if she was, I don't think she would. She seems to like her life in Charlotte. She would like to try to convince Jamal to stay in Charlotte, which is part of this episode. But I think it's going to be a hard no for him. Bria, you set it up lovely. I mean, what I have to add is basically her plan is to try to get him to want to possibly move to Charlotte. And so he has friends that are from Virginia that are going to meet them there in Charlotte, spend some time to meet Veronica and for her to have a chance to meet his friends. So basically, she's all excited. She starts off with a pub crawl for them. That would be just Veronica, Jamal, and his two friends. Right. And so the idea is she wants to have the time with his friends so that she can get to know them, they can get to know her. And then she intends to end the evening with introducing Tim and another one of her good friends, which is also a guy. Yeah, child. Anywho, so basically, the friends come in from Virginia, and they're talking, and they're trying to get to know her. And Jamal basically brings up how her ex is her best friend.
Yes.
It is very clear on his two friends that they are like, huge. Matter of fact, they said huge red flag. Huge red flag. I mean, they were completely turned off. And rightfully so. But what I don't understand about Veronica, and I mean, because they said they were shocked. They thought it was weird. They thought it was a red flag. And it's just like, it seems to just go like right over her head. Like, seems like she can't put logic in something that seems so illogical. Granted, you can be friends with who you want to. I think if she didn't make it such a thing, like, I think I'm friends with my ex. My ex is my best friend. And I mean,
yes,
it's like she leads with that, like it's cute.
Well, right. I know. And honestly, even from the start, she seemed very messy to me. I mean, she threw that going away party, sat on his lap to take a picture, like when Tim was going to Colombia. Like when we were first, when we were first
introduced to her.
Yes. And she did just very messy. They clearly lack boundaries, both of them. And it's like she wants them to fight over her.
You know what? I was gonna say that.
Yes.
I was gonna say that. I get the sense
so
like she thinks it's cute.
Like,
it's immature. And do you see how she has this look on her face every time she talks about Tim? She's looking at Jamal for a reaction. Like she wants one.
Yes.
Child, listen.
Right. Like, no, Jamal ain't studying you like that. You know that. Tim ain't studying you like that, really. I mean, you're his best friend. He's your good Judy or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, it's just that's what I'm saying. Like, let's stop being fake and let's be real and let's be adult and mature about this. And then I don't know. It's so just silly. Silly is the word that I would describe.
I'd say silly describes it absolutely perfectly.
Yes.
Because Veronica is like 38 years old. It's silly.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very silly.
what's wrong to be acting like that? But I mean, like just silly. Jamal, like
it is.
Jamal and Tim didn't make it any better. Neither did the friends. It was all just a bunch of silly mess that went on in that scene.
Extremely silly. And I mean, guys, 90 Day Single Life. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. But then again, Single Life never. Well, I think there's been seasons that were better than this one. Best thing to take away from Veronica and Mr. Jamal is, she tries to play the game and she's like, well, what do you not like about Charlotte? He's like, it's just too slow for him. And his friends were like, when she asked his friends, do you ever see him move in here? And they were like, nope. So he just says he doesn't feel like it's a good fit for him. Plus he says, as long as, Tim is around and, it's the way it is, he just doesn't see it. It's just going to be problems, more of the same. And they get into it because Tim was like, you have to prove yourself to me. And I'm thinking, based off what? But he's like, I want to make sure you're good to her, you're good to Chloe. And then Jamal comes back, well, it's not like your father of the year. And that's what starts the little kerfuffle. Tim know he need to sit down, though. What he gonna do, Bria? Have a seat, sir, please. That's craziness.
Like, raise your voice. That's it. But but I mean, it all seemed like it was orchestrated by Veronica. I mean, it seems like she tells Jamal things and she tells Tim things, and it's like it's just sneaky, immature, silly mess.
It's self-serving. It's to feed her her insecurities, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, because she's very insecure. And you're right. He made the mention, well, that's not what Veronica told me. So clearly she's playing both sides. Not a good look, Veronica. You're not going to get Jamal like that. Please stop wasting our time.
Right. Or tell the producers that you don't want to do that scene or something. I don't know. Because I just feel like you're too intelligent for this. Like, I feel like you're not. It doesn't look right to me. Looks
not
very
at all.
Silly. So
it was very silly. Yeah. So we're going to move on over to John. So John is actually packing up to head to San Antonio, Texas to see his girlfriend, Megan. They show him arriving at the hotel because, he decided to go there. It's kind of late when he got back from the airport. Child, the man forgot his travel bag. Ain't had no deodorant, no cologne, no toothpaste. Megan's a real one.
You like, right. She's like, look, you good? I
She said she
like
liked
your
the man
natural
smell.
scent. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She looked, I don't know. I'll reserve my my opinions. But yes.
I was gonna say that. I was kind of on the fence on whether we were gonna go there. Let's just say, guys, that I feel like they're very perfectly matched.
Absolutely, yes.
Maybe her pictures were a shade bit misleading. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Very
But not that she's not, I would not say that she's unattractive. I would say that now she seems a lot more in his league.
Absolutely.
Is that fair?
Yes. No, yes. But I mean, even like still, her pictures are cute, but you can tell there's a lot of angles that she works with and filters. And so I kind of knew that she wouldn't look exactly like that.
No, honey,
but
she ain't by herself.
She absolutely not. No, she's not.
She's not. Well,
yeah.
It basically what they don't seem to have a problem with is their physical relationship.
Absolutely.
Now,
great sexual chemistry.
Oh yeah. I mean, John told us last week, and I was thinking maybe he's, embellishing, but no. Seemed like she's about it. And they seem like they don't struggle at all in that department. So good on you, John. I heard that. So she ends up coming over to the hotel room, honey. They get right to it, child. They just kick the producers right on out the room. And that's cool. Yeah.
It is, absolutely. However, 90 Day, Love After Lockup, all of the ones that, do, we don't need to see all that. We don't need to see all that. We're good. We're all adults. We all know what you do. We don't need to see like up until they're about to take their clothes off. We really don't. You can just leave. You can get the next scene. We don't need to see that.
But I think what John lacks in personality, I think he felt like he needed to show that child. I don't know. But anyway, they do decide that they want to show each other that they have a relationship outside the bedroom. So they head off to dinner. And basically at dinner, they're making small talk. It starts off a shade bit awkward. But she gets more comfortable. He makes a crazy joke, but she didn't get, which neither did I.
No.
About the pumpkin.
Nope.
That was so lowbrow. I won't even repeat it. But those will be all that watch the episode. Know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
She basically goes on to tell him, hey, she's thinking about a proposal or some engagement soon. And he says, well, I think we need to live together before we get married. And so she's hoping, okay, well then 6 months, then they will be living together. And she doesn't want to continue it being a long distance relationship, him being in Vegas, her being in Texas. He says he doesn't want to rush it. And he feels like, I guess he had a previous relationship where they got engaged rather fast and he ended up hurt. So he's basically putting the brakes on them. And we will see how that goes.
Right.
So, Bray, you got anything to add on Mr. John and Miss Megan? Because that was pretty much their scene.
That was, there wasn't really a whole lot. There'll most likely be more to come as the season progresses. Right. Like you said, they seem very equally matched. They,
Yep.
I hope it works out for them.
Same.
I
hope, and for his brother's sake, I'm sure they hope it works out too, so he can get up out their house.
Sure. Both brothers.
Both brothers, right?
Get up out my house so I can live my nice domestic life, not what we got going on. So,
amen. So, child, now we're going to go over and see about Miss Debbie.
Miss Debbie.
Miss Debbie. So, honey, she thought she had it in the bag with Sir Russ, but apparently, Russ called her. They, not like he dropped her right away. He did call her, but she said Russ could not get past Osama in his age. And so Debbie being Debbie, honey, she don't take no time. She keeps it pushing.
As you should. As you should.
I mean, right. When you just getting back out there dating, child, ain't no need to sit in there and waste your time pining away at somebody you don't even hardly know. If you can't get past her past, which she shouldn't have told him, honey, maybe she'll learn her lesson from the date the week before, like not this week, but last week, because you don't divulge all of your secrets on date one. I mean, let the man get to know you.
Drink down before she was like,
figure out if he's worth even investing that much of yourself in him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You just met him. That's
right. So, child, she get back on a date nap though. She don't waste no time, and she meets Mr. Ruben the Cuban. You know what though? Ruben looks. She even said it. She likes an exotic guy, and that's clear. Yes. Osama was Moroccan.
Yes.
And so Ruben is Cuban. Yeah. She definitely likes an exotic guy. Yes, and Ruben fits the bill.
Got a brown boy fetish. That's okay. I mean, not, if that's your thing, cool.
Child, we like what we like, and I'm not mad at that.
We like what we like, right. So she's going down to Miami to get her preference, and that's beautiful. Go ahead, girl.
Go ahead, girl. The only thing, and I'm going to say this, y'all, and I hope, because look, transparent moment, I'm 50 years old. So, God willing, I'll make it to 67, but I did not need to see Miss Debbie at the pharmacy gathering her items to take with her to Miami. She went with her son. I mean, the lotion, I get the lotion and stuff, but I mean, it was other things, child. Listen, but I mean, look, dating at all ages, you should always be safe. Not mad at that. And, let's be real. The desires don't go away as you get older. So, I mean, she's 67, honey, child. She's still out there. She's healthy. And she's being safe as she should. That's grown. That's being grown.
Yes.
Hey,
grown woman.
So,
for her.
Absolutely. So she's going to go to Miami to actually meet Ruben. That's where he's located. And she did say that Ruben is going to introduce her to the art scene. Anybody that's watched, Debbie is very much a talented artist, extremely talented, very artsy, but a very talented artist. So there's that. She is.
Yes, she makes beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Russ is 58. So I think he's a little, or not Russ. Yeah. Ruben is 58. Yes, Ruben is 58. Debbie's 67, but I mean, she can work that. He seems to like her. I saw the little banter. I mean, it's cute, a little spicy. He's a cute guy. I mean, I love it. Yeah, so love it. Basically, sure, Debbie, get your groove on. I'm not mad at it. So she tells her son, that she's going, and of course he wants to go to keep an eye on things. But you know what? Her son sometimes is cringy to me, but look, his mom got done wrong. The way that dude talked to her when she was in Morocco, listen, I'm not mad at him wanting to go. Make sure it's on the up and up. Yeah. And so she agrees as long as he keeps his distance. And so she's going to go to Miami in a couple days. And I guess we'll either get to see it next week or the following week. But yeah, so Miss Debbie's going to check out Ruben the Cuban, some more to follow on that. Then we're going to close 90 Day with Miss Chantel. Okay. Now, do y'all remember what I said last week about her friends, 2 of which is part of her glam team? And how said friend named Kaylee did her dirty with her hair.
And her makeup. My gosh. Did you see that? That makeup was not blended?
On that eye.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
They had her looking a mess.
She did. She looked like she was going to a costume party.
I got a better look on that last episode. My Lord, she looked good.
Chantel is pretty. It was like she needs a ton of anything, right?
It's right. Yes, she looked crazy out there.
They had her crazy in those Greek streets. They had her looking crazy. They did. They did. But I mean, Giannis was looking good, child.
It was, and it seemed to be that he thought that she looked good too. So let's carry on.
That's literally all that matters. Honey, Giannis thought she looked good. Right. So I'm not mad at it. And Giannis, he was looking good, child. Soccer babe, aka Greek salad, was looking on point. Okay. So they get together and it's really sweet. He asked her what her favorite sport is because he's an athletic guy. He plays football, soccer, and she says American football. Which she says it in Spanish, and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Well, I speak 2 languages, but I don't know Greek." And she was like, "Will you teach me Greek?" And he says he will. So she asked him then about Spartans. The movie 300. And he proceeds to show her his Spartan tattoo with a Spartan shield. And she was like, "Oh, child, I can't even fake it. Look, it was crazy. I mean, it was mad boring. Like, let's be clear. I mean, it was cringe. She's awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Well, listen, I'm not even front. Look, I love my actualizers too much to front. Chantel, that whole scene, we should just put in the trash can. Only thing I could just say about it is it seemed like he definitely was interested in her. If it's nothing past this trip, so what? The whole point of it was for her to get her groove back, to kind of feel like she still has it. Clearly, this dude is entertaining. I'm good with it. Child, would he have something to add? Because I'm gonna talk about how he takes her back to the hotel, but there's really not a lot to unpack here, guys. There's not.
There isn't. Yeah, the date seemed to have gone well. Both of them are about as deep as a raindrop. So it just, I think that they're very good together in that aspect. You don't have to get deep with either one of them. They seem to be, they like it on the surface. But yeah, just that's what I got from it. Beautiful people, just
stunning.
That's where it stays, just right here.
It stays right here, right? It's very visual. Right, it's very, it's right here. Well, he shows her the Venetian harbor, which was beautiful, by the way. So it's got me, honey, wanting to put Greece on the bucket list. Beautiful, right?
It's a very beautiful country.
It's absolutely stunning. He even asked her if she could see herself living in Greece. And she says, maybe, yeah. Then, of course, she asked him, could he see himself living in the United States? And his response was, never say never. So pretty much, she says that Giannis has swept her off her feet. She's feeling very enamored, very, he's being very attentive. And that's good for her. I think she needed that. Particularly from a good looking guy like Giannis, it was nice. I was happy for Chantel. And so basically he takes her hand, they walk hand in hand. It's really nice, looks very romantic. And then basically she asked to be taken back to her hotel. She's not going to take him upstairs, nor should she. But he does take her back to the hotel. She hopes for a kiss. We hope she gets it, child, because I ain't see. But and that's pretty much how it ended, guys.
Pretty much it.
I'm at a loss. I don't know, Bria. It's not a lot right now. I'm hoping that we run up on an episode that just brings the fire. Like everybody gets established with who they kind of have their love interest in, and then we start seeing it unfold. Because it can happen, it has in other seasons. I don't know. It's a slow burn, but
Mhm.
listen, if you guys would like us to chat about a different show or you want us to keep going with 90 Day Single Life, comment it, please. Because
Yeah.
listen, we're loyal to the 90 Day franchise. We're about that TLC life.
Mhm.
But I will admit this one is coming a little slow. I think next week we're going to see Natalie throw a dinner party at her box department, and Tyree will be on there. Which, Lord Jesus, let's put Tyree on the prayer list so that
Yes.
next week, next week this time we want to report that Tyree actually met a woman, a real one.
Right.
Let us all touch and agree, shall we?
Yeah. Touch
Let's
and
all
agree.
touch and agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, guys, that's all we got on 90 Day. We'll be back on next Wednesday for the next episode. Again, guys, you know, honey, we are open for whatever. We love you guys. You're our actualizers. Put it in the comments, child. Let us know what you want us to talk about. If this is like not doing it for you, let us know. Honey, we will move it right along. So now we're going to say goodbye to beautiful Bria for the night. And I'm going to get into some Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Thank you, Bria. It's been
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. All right. I will see y'all tomorrow for Married at First Sight. And
Yes.
like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for 800. We are so grateful. Oh my goodness. The rapid growth is like, whoa.
We're
But yes.
we're so happy.
Yes. Again. We see you, we thank you, and we are grateful for you. All right.
Yes.
Bye. See y'all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Brie. All right, guys. Now we're going to get into part 3 of the reunion of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, I don't know about y'all, but everything that we started with, everything from the finale to the buildup of the reunion, all supposed to have led up to this moment. And I don't know about you guys, but it didn't land right. We gave them 2 weeks to get to season or episode 3, and it fell flat. What do y'all think? I was disappointed. We'll get to Heather in a bit with the whole Black Eye Gate, child. But you know, they showed when Monica was going to bring out the burn book and really kind of give us the insight as to how Reality Von Tease came about. You know, more intel on who was all involved. Y'all, it didn't come together. And look, remember I told you guys that I really dig Monica and I really think she was good for the show. So I know that by now, a lot of you guys have heard, some people are saying that Monica got fired. That is actually not true. Monica has been put on a pause. It was reported by a showrunner named Victoria that the ladies are going to start filming really February 5th. So it is like boom, boom, boom. And they're just not ready yet to start filming with her. And guys, can you really blame them? I mean, Monica was ruthless. I mean, listen, first of all, let me say, was she great for the show? Yes. Am I mad that she did what she did to help take down Jen Shaw? Not mad at all. Were there some things that when she was asked to explain sounded crazy? Yes. Were there some things that sounded disingenuous? Yes. Y'all, she was lying about some of that. I don't mean no harm because I can still like you and think you're good for a show, but think that you're full of BS too. Last night, like I said, child, I don't know if it's the mom in me, but I can spot a liar a mile away. And yesterday, she was not being 100% honest. There was some embellishment going on. But child, let's get into it. So they start out talking about Lisa and her affinity for her glam. Y'all, I don't care. Actually, look, Lisa, a lot of people say, well, Lisa is the most self-centered, self-absorbed, self-unaware housewife. Yes. I'm not gonna say that that's far from the truth. Lisa does have her good points. I think that she brought up, and I have seen her come to Monica's aid when Monica found out that she couldn't see her family in Bermuda because allegedly her mother intervened and made it such that the family did not want to see her. Lisa was very caring and there for her. She's not all bad, and I don't think she is anyway. I think I do think she has a problem with accountability and acknowledging when she's done something wrong. It seems like she's a lot more powered up to try to prove to you what you did wrong first. That's unfortunate. But child, they went into talking about the impression Meredith does of Whitney. Child, she ain't sound like Meredith. Or Meredith did not sound like Whitney, but I'm gonna tell you who did, which was Mary Cosby. Mary had Whitney down pat. I said, dang. But you know what? That's what I love about Mary. Mary's fun. Mary's funny. Mary's quirky. Mary's mean. Mary's not always likable. Mary's Mary. And anyway, child. So basically, they wrap it up with Mary because Mary's getting ready to leave. And Andy asked, would she be willing to come back and film? And she said, basically, it would depend. She said it would be if her fellow cast members wouldn't paint her out to be such a terrible person. And, she talked about how Whitney said she was afraid to film with her. And Whitney debunked that, saying, no, she wasn't afraid. But basically, she said that, she just really wanted a chance to make things right with Mary. Of course, Meredith, honey, is down. Meredith, and that's why I told you guys, Meredith and Mary really get along. They don't have issues. They respect each other. They're good. And Mary is also good with Monica. So there's that. So from there, they talk about the international girls trip, which was a trip to Bermuda. And it shows Monica talking about Angie K being in the Greek mafia. So, but they flash back and say how it's always Monica coming to them saying, oh, somebody DM me about you, somebody DM me. And yes, child, we get it. All of it's suspect. Every bit of it was leading up to the moment where Heather was able to piece it together with the help of her hairstylist, Tanisha, that Monica was, in fact, Reality Von Tease. It's really creepy the way they splice it all together and you start looking back because I wasn't catching it as it was happening. But when they start doing the flashbacks, and that's good on those producers, they did a good job with the editing or with the flashbacks and, bring it all together, even for the reunions, so that you could look back and piece it together and be like, I didn't even see it coming, but it was there, right? So from there, basically, then they go all the way to Heather's dramatic event when Heather had been piecing things together, that she had done the investigation, that she got Tanisha on the phone, and Tanisha said, Monica is Reality Von Tease. And listen, guys, some people say, well, I mean, it's not like they don't talk about each other. It's not like they didn't go on that page and, add to it or retweet it or share it or what have you. Okay. But listen, I don't know. I mean, Monica said herself that the page had like 100 tags. So it seems to me like they were getting a kick out of it themselves. I mean, it was salacious. I mean, I can understand from their perspective. I mean, these are business owners, prominent women in their community. So of course you don't want a social media page out there just slamming you and then you don't know what's coming next. I mean, they're mothers, like I said, business owners, wives. other than Heather. Yeah, that's dangerous, right? So I get that. I mean, it makes for good TV, but from their perspectives and their real lives, I get their concern. So after they go through that, child, Monica breaks out the freaking burn book. And it seemed like in that moment, a lot of them were like, mm-mm. I don't even know what the purpose of that was, other than, the new Mean Girls is out, y'all. I don't know. Like, when I say that last night's episode fell flat, it fell flat. And I'm so disappointed because this is when I was hoping for everything to kind of come together, right? You wanted to understand because, Monica kept expressing that it's not just me, it's 6 other people. Like, I want her to name names, how it came together, who was involved. She went back to the whole thing about wanting to take Jen Shaw down, of being an informant for the FBI. Some of it, y'all, am I wrong? It just sounded ridiculous. Look, I am down for some good drama. I am down for a good storyline. I'm even down if it don't all the way make sense, if it's that entertaining. But when you're playing in my face, mm-mm. I just wasn't here for it. Again, Heather tries to give her kind of a clue in where Monica just doesn't seem to take accountability of why it was so wrong for her to do this page. Why, after she took down Jen Shaw, the page stayed up and she was still coming for folks. And that's when she said, well, it was tagged 100 times. And when Heather says, well, what if I retweeted things that your mom said? And she was just like, my mom already took care of that. It didn't seem to land on her well. And you remember when I told you guys that in part 1 of the reunion, Andy was giving her a chance to give her backstory. He talked about the relationship with her mom, maybe even give herself a chance to be humanized and likable, to be seen in a light where you could understand why she did some of the things she did because of maybe the unhealthy relationship with her mom. I'm gonna have to go on record to say I don't even believe the mom's prayer about when she said that she messed up on the last day of when she was auditioning for the Real Housewives. She went to her mom and her mom said, let's pray. And she said, Lord, if Monica doesn't get it somehow, some way, please let it be me. Let it be me. Yeah, I don't believe that. If her mom wasn't even on the roster to be auditioning, how was her mama gonna get on there and she wasn't? It just sounded crazy. I like Monica, but it seems like she's the kind that will say whatever she needs to. Again, I'm not saying, because I told you guys, I legit want to see Monica back on Housewives of Salt Lake City, but I'm gonna need her to get it together. She had an opportunity last night to bring it all together, maybe do some apologies, maybe own something, tell the whole story about how it came about, give the lady something. As a result of her not doing that, it just didn't land well for her. They even go into the fact that Andy talks about how she was the one that put the cameras in Jen Shaw's house, so she was monitoring those. Y'all, that's a lot. They even go to the scene where she's driving by Jen's house, and she has the nerve to say that she was asked by the FBI to do that to ensure that she could catch her if, in fact, she was getting in her car while driving drunk and was about to commit a DUI. Y'all, they went back and showed the video, and you could see her all hyped. Yeah, child, it gave unhealthy obsession with the idea of something. I mean, Jen Shaw proved that she wasn't the greatest person. I do believe, and I've heard the audio, that she did not treat her employees well. God knows she didn't treat her fellow castmates well. We sat there and watched it. She bullied them. But, child, that was a lot. So past that, when they go back to talking about how she talked about Angie K. So they're kind of going back through things of trying to get her to take accountability for something. When they go back over the fact that she says Angie K was in the Greek mafia. And she tells her, how damaging that could have been to her brand. That she says, look, I brought it out on TV, but I didn't start the rumor. But if you bring it out on a national TV show, you may as well have been the one who would have heard it had it not been mentioned on the show. I didn't know. Okay, so then she says, that she came after, her business and things. And then Monica says, well, you too came after my business. Child, she has the blanket business, whatever. And listen, I'm not suggesting that they didn't, but what they were trying to say is the damaging things that Monica said directly could have affected or may have affected their businesses, their sales, their brands, the way they make their money. And just because someone has a certain lifestyle doesn't mean that they should be subject to someone creating rumors, spreading things on their platform, their show that could be damaging to their families or to their brand. So I'm down for that. I'm down with the fact that that was wrong. Again, y'all, she's not fired. Monica is on pause, but she will not be returning for season 5 or season 6 because I think they're currently on 5. And the ladies just aren't ready to film with her. There is no trust there. And we can say what we want, but I have to respect them for that. And then a lot of people are saying that, well, if they can get past Heather lying all this time to us about the black eye, why can't they give Monica a chance? First of all, let me just say this. I don't know that there's a true fan of that show that was not watching that had any doubt in their heart that Jen gave her that black eye. Now, the fact that she didn't admit it, that's one thing. And one could understand why she didn't admit it because Jen at the time was facing, what she was facing. She was out on bail. I mean, an assault charge certainly could have sent her packing, okay. But what got to me, guys, was when Andy finally says, okay, let's talk about it. Did y'all get anything? Because I sure didn't. Basically, and they showed the footage of that night. Basically, what she said was, it was a lot of drinking that night. She claims she doesn't remember how, but when she woke up, she had the black eye and she knew Jen did it. That morning, she texts Jen. Jen comes in and says, I'm sorry, and she was like, you're the one that gave me the black eye. And they basically sat down and talked about, what their cover story was going to be. So they show, well, let me take it back. What they said was, I guess they both were drinking. So Jen said that next morning, did I give you the black eye? And Heather was like, look, don't worry, I'll cover for you. They showed footage of her coming to the room that morning before all the other ladies saw her, and they sat down apparently to say what their story was. Now, look, it did not take a rocket scientist when you watch that footage from that season when they were talking, all the ladies were like, oh my God, what happened to your eye? Each time they would pan to Jen, her face was like in horror, like, please don't tell them I did it. Y'all, to me, it was insulting. I don't know. I mean, and still, in my opinion, it really didn't give the true backstory on what happened because, quite frankly, it seems like Heather was blackout drunk and she really don't know. And to cry and to say, well, I lied and I covered up. Child, you don't know exactly what happened. I mean, do I believe she hit you? Yes. Could it have been an accident, a slip up in the drunk? I don't know. But the point was, all that build up for that, really. Anyway, Heather talked about all the scenarios, all the things that she told when she was on her book tour, the lies that she told, the cover-ups. and all for naught. And Jen basically says to her that, because Andy comes back and says, well, how does that make you feel? And then Monica says, well, it just makes me feel like, you two think we all were victims of Jen and her abuse in different ways. And maybe so. And for the record, that was alleged. Jen Shaw maintains from her prison cell that she never hit Heather, that if in fact she had been the one that gave Heather the black eye, she believes production would have caught it on film. So there's that. She does not admit that she did it. Why would she? So my last thoughts on it, guys. I love the way that the season ended up. This was a good season. Monica really brought it. It did reignite my interest in Salt Lake City because I started off with it and I kind of fallen off a little bit. Monica brought that. She brought that it factor. She did. Putting her on pause, I certainly understand it. I don't know what it's going to mean for the new season, but we'll tune in and see. The lead up to the third part of the reunion, very disappointing, guys. It didn't give what it was supposed to give. The first one was a good lead in. The second one, we were kind of getting antsy. Third one fell flat. But we're going to keep tuning in. Like I said, well, that season is done. They're getting ready to start filming in February. We'll see what the next season gives, guys. So from now on, our Wednesdays right now is going to be 90 Day Single Life. So we have a little wiggle room. So I'm going to challenge you out there, our listeners, to put in there, what would you like to see us talk about? Which show? Put it in the comments. We can add it to the lineup. Because 90 days is just not enough to really fill up a time slot. So add us something. Tell us what you want us to start watching. It's probably something we already watch about. It's just not enough days in the week to recap all the reality shows we watch. So I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great night. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to recap Ready First Night in Denver. The season is shaping up. So come on back. Let's have some more discussions. Thank you for all of our actualizers that put comments in, and then we've had that dialogue about the episodes. It's really good. We like that open dialogue. We like to hear from you guys, so keep it going. So we will see you guys tomorrow night. Until then, enjoy your